So nothing. If we wanted to imagine what would it take to defeat Hezbollah in the way of really eliminating the threat, imagine an Iraq style lengthy occupation. If you actually wanted to do it, which I don't think we're going to do. The Israelis are physically not capable of doing it, just in terms of manpower. So it's not going to achieve anything. And even if somehow the war doesn't spread to full spectrum conflict beyond the confines of Lebanon and Israel, it's going to be incredibly destructive, but it won't achieve anything, right? We will have done this big wasteful project for no reason. If it does expand, another really easy to hit target worth noting is going to be our partner's oil infrastructure in the region, which the Houthis have hit before. Yeah, in the Gulf. And I'm only mentioning this because if you want to link this back to how what we're doing now is a bad idea, not just morally and strategically, but also from an electoral perspective, is we are choosing a course of events that will shoot up gas prices right before the election. And part of me thinks that the Gulf infrastructure will actually be safe because as this continues to heat up, or once it kicks off, I think we're going to see a lot more countries do, I think, what Egypt has already announced, which is basically tell the US that they're going to have no part in it. And they want to be kept as far away from the conflict as they can. We've seen this a little bit earlier with some countries. I think it was in the news that the Emirates asked us to stop flying combat missions out of our bases there because they were afraid of what the Houthis were going to do to them. So, just another complicating factor with all this is that we're going to lose, I think, a lot of the airspace and basing that we've enjoyed in the region, which is not the most important consequence, but it's something we used to think about a lot where I worked. And one consequence of that means instead of launching strikes from the Gulf, we're going to be launching them on carriers, which again, it's been theorized are a famously large and easy to hit target. We've never put one up against like an asymmetric threat before that can swarm it with boats or drones. Or we're going to be flying strikes and operations out of our bases in Mediterranean Europe. And those can be targets too.
Yeah, you're basically sounding the alarm of what could happen.
Yes, I'm getting a little bit in the weeds, but the short answer is if we start this, we'll be up against an enemy that's much more motivated than us and has thought for a very long time about how they can hit our scattered and sometimes vulnerable military and diplomatic infrastructure.